Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Pikmin video. If you are new here, please subscribe and let's grow this channel together. I wanted to make this video because right now, I'm attempting to do a red-only run in Pikmin 4. It is possible. I am in the Cavern for a King, or Cave for a King, I forget what the title is, but I'm at the part where I'm stuck trying to beat the water wraiths, how there's two of them. You can beat them with just reds. Hopefully I will get through that, but with all that stress and everything, I decided that I would try to do something that is easier, and that is the very first Pikmin game, and doing a one Pikmin type a day challenge. Now, when I did go into this, I thought that it would take me like 25 or so in-game days to complete, but surprisingly it did not. And as you can see after this introduction, on the game days I sped up the video because I didn't want to have all of the days showing at normal speed, because if I did do that, this video would take over 4 hours. Now the first two game days are pretty standard. The first day, you unlock the red Pikmin at the impact site. Of course, you build up the Pikmin red army, and you get the main engine. And after that, on the second day, you explore the Forest of Hope with red Pikmin. And the first day is very straightforward, as all you are doing is collecting them, and there are no enemies, so you can't actually give up on the first day. I think maybe if you tried to go to Sunset, but I never tried that. But I end up getting the first part, hip hip hooray. Now we go to the Forest of Hope, where in the Forest of Hope, I build up more red Pikmin, and I end up trying to get flowers for them so they are stronger. But I end up, after doing that, defeating more enemies, getting the pellets, and from there, I decided that I would unlock the yellow onion, but not grab the yellow Pikmin. And I also grabbed two parts, the Eternal Fuel Dynamo, as well as the Shock Absorber. And I also I did increase the red army to beyond 100, because I wanted to make sure in this run that I have over 100 of each type in case I lose in battle, so I can bring out a maximum capacity of Pikmin, and then I end up stopping on day 2, because that is all I could do with red Pikmin in the Forest of Hope. So I started day 3 by going to the yellow onion and plucking the yellow Pikmin. Day 3, all I really did was try to build up my yellow Pikmin squad, army, population. I don't know what Nintendo really calls it, if they do actually have a term, but with the yellow Pikmin, I ended up breaking all the rock walls that I could. There were a few bomb rocks that I needed where I was not successful in breaking all the walls that I wanted to, so I did not collect all the parts that I thought I could on day 3. But on day 3, I was able to collect one part. So at this point, I was still one part ahead of the days left. So I was feeling pretty good at this point. I wasn't too, I wasn't really feeling that I could actually do this run at this point. I was feeling good, but I wasn't too confident about this at this time. But the part that I did collect was the whimsical radar. I had to say it slow, or else I can't say whimsical at all. It almost came out as whimsical. But I did collect the whimsical radar. I ended up breaking I did end up breaking the wall, so I could get to the Nova Blaster, but I did not have enough time in the day to bring it back. And I did end up with day 3 having 57 yellow Pikmin, so I did have a good amount of them, and I wanted to be able to get more, and on day 4, I ended up getting the bomb rocks that I needed to be able to collect the the parts that I was trying to collect on day 3, as well as taking bomb rocks and fighting the bulborbs that I wanted to without using the yellow army and possibly killing more than being able to collect. And with having enough bomb rocks replenished on day 4, that gave me enough to break down the wall and collect the extraordinary bolt. I almost messed up on pronouncing that. Again, that's why I took my time and said it, instead of trying to say it fast. And then also, I was able to have enough Pikmin, build the army by getting this 20 count pellet. And then from there, I also grabbed the Nova reactor. I'm sorry, it's not called the Nova Cannon. It is called the Nova Blaster. So I ended up getting that, and then I wanted to see how much I could really test the limits in here. So I know you're supposed to need blue Pikmin to move the cardboard, but the yellow Pikmin are thrown so high and so far, you can actually have them move the box. And so with that, I got stupid and I tried to see if I could fight the burrowing Snagrets, and I ended up losing a ton of yellow Pikmin here. Later in the video, I do end up losing a whole lot more, and I did realize that I did not actually have to defeat all 3 of them. I could have just defeated the one, because it does trigger if you throw Pikmin off the ledge, near the edge, I should say. So with that, I ended up defeating it, but not actually being able to have enough time and collect the part that it drops, which is the Geiger counter. So at the end of day 4, I've collected 6 parts, and I've lost a total of 37 Pikmin in battle. This is always something I don't know what the mindset is for me, but I never try and lose any Pikmin to sunset, and I have not lost any to sunset, but so far 37 to battle. And so on day 5, I continue, and I actually go through to the Forest Navel, because I feel like the Forest of Hope, for almost all of the remaining parts, I will need blue Pikmin. So much like day 3 of building the yellow Pikmin population, I end up taking day 5 and doing that with the blue Pikmin. And about halfway through day 5, I think that I should try and get some of the parts. So I end up building some bridges and everything, making room for the rest of the days, making it easier on myself. And I do actually end up bringing one of the parts back. And I didn't feel like having 51 blue Pikmin was enough. So I end up trying to build my blue Pikmin army before trying to collect more pieces of ship parts. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said pieces. They are ship parts. But I end up getting a few more parts right before the end of day 5, as well as building up the blue Pikmin army by just a little bit. And with that, day 5 is wrapped up. I have 62 blue Pikmin. I lost 2 to battle. We have 9 parts, so it's going fairly well so far in this run. Day 6 was a great day. I go back to the Forest of Hope, and I start building up the blue Pikmin. This is where they confuse me, because it seems like they're going to go through a treacherous path, but then they end up actually bringing back the part that the burrowed Snagret has. So I end up actually in this day having to go back and trying to get that one blue Pikmin that I believe is just stuck, and I can't actually get it due to how far the whistle goes. But I end up doing that. I get the Sagittarius part. I know that that's not needed in this run, and during this run I know that I don't need all 30 parts, but I did not want to go through and get only the necessary parts and then just continue to sunset for however many days are left and then beat the game that way. I wanted to see if I could collect all 30 parts doing this. And Right here, I end up actually going past, and I end up actually losing a ton of blue Pikmin, but I do get the part needed and without killing the armored cannon beetle, because honestly, right here, I did forget how to fight it. So that's why I kept running around thinking, how can I fight it? And then I remembered that you have to throw one of the Pikmin into, I guess it's sucker part, but I end up just running past it and wrapping up day 6 with all the parts collected in the Forest of Hope. For day 7 and day 8, I go back to the impact site, and on day 7, you need the yellow Pikmin to break, I think they are called rock walls. Oops, I didn't mean to say walk walls. That was on accident. But then I also took some of day 7 to build up more yellow Pikmin, which I didn't know why I wanted to do that, but it ended up paying off later in this video. Now I end day 7 with getting just under 100 new yellow Pikmin, and I start day 8 with blue Pikmin. I needed to use them because I needed to collect this part that is in the impact site, that is in the clam, and I can't get them, I think, with any other Pikmin. I didn't try this because I know that I would not be able to throw red or yellow as great as I could on that little island, as I would be able to just throw blues in the water, from the water. And so with the remaining part of day 8, I don't use all of it, but I build up more blue Pikmin, and then I end the day after collecting a few more Pikmin, and then I make my way back to the Forest Navel with red Pikmin. I used red Pikmin because I wanted to fight all the fiery blowhogs, and I know that getting this necessary part from the puff stool would be easier with red Pikmin, since there are those fire obstacles. I don't know what they're actually called off the top of my head, but I needed them, so I ended up defeating the puff shroom. With the rest of day 9, I didn't need the red Pikmin for any other parts, so I end up breaking some barriers. Actually, I'm sorry, I did use the red to get the gravity jumper, and then I ended up breaking some barriers, defeating all the fiery blowhogs that are, I guess, on this beach. I think it's a beach. That's what I've always thought it was in my head. But I end up doing that, and then what I end up doing as well is this final barrier. I know that you need kind of all 3 types. You don't kind of, you do need them to be able to go through this. So I ended up making sure that I had that broken, because I need yellow and I need blue to get those 2 parts. And so with that, I end up really just, again, at the end of the day, building up the red army. This part right here on this bridge, I'm going to slow it down on day 10, but there is that geyser that I need blue Pikmin for. And I don't know if this was a glitch or what, but we'll get into it on day 10 in just a second here. And I do bring out the blue Pikmin for day 10, fight this fiery blowhog, and then from there, I end up getting this massive part, defeating these Wollywogs, and they actually ended up killing a good amount of my blue Pikmin, so I get enough for the part, but then you'll see that I bring their bodies back so I could get more blue Pikmin. But as of right here, before getting the part, I end up actually breaking the geyser, and you'll see, because I use yellow Pikmin on day 11, for whatever reason, that geyser doesn't actually stay broken or visible. It's very weird, but here you can see I'm struggling to get through these fire obstacles, and I end up, through just sheer luck, will, and stupidity, getting by them with blue Pikmin. I don't know how long I was going to continue to try to do this for, but I was going to, if I could not get these parts, I was going to try and at least bring them down so I could get red Pikmin in another day. But fortunately, I did not need them. I was able to collect all the parts that were required for blue Pikmin, and then I ended up calling day 10 over. I went to sunset to be able to go to day 11. On day 11, I actually had to reset my game. I didn't reset it, I'm sorry. I reset the day because I played through it actually twice and I forgot to record. So on day 11, I go through and I fight beady longlegs. And again, the fire spewing out of the ground was not fun to go through with not red Pikmin. But I end up getting the part through beady longlegs. And then I go through, and this is where I'm a little confused because this is where I've tried to break the barrier, the geyser, I mean. And I wasn't sure if I could break it with just yellow Pikmin. So I brought bomb rocks hoping that I could have enough of a radius with them and destroy it. But looking here, if you actually throw the yellow Pikmin right at the edge of the water, for some reason they have a big enough hitbox where they hit the geyser before they start to drown. So I was fortunate that they were able to do that. Because in day 10, as you saw, I did break this geyser. And for whatever reason, it did not stay open. And right here, I break the geyser, fortunately, to be able to go through. And I wanted to actually have enough yellow Pikmin here to try and get through that obstacle fast. So I end up throwing the yellow Pikmin with the bomb rocks. So they would drop it and having 20. And with that, that is the wrap for the Forest Naval. And from there, after getting the part, I go to sunset and we continue on to day 12. So at day 11, I've collected 19 parts. I have 11 remaining on day 11. And I've lost so far a total of 133 Pikmin in battle. But I still have not lost any to sunset. So I'm sorry for the Pikmin that died in battle, but it was all for a good cause. On day 12, I traveled to the distant spring, and I wasn't sure what type of Pikmin I wanted to bring out at first. I was considering bringing blue or yellow at first. I didn't think reds were necessary, so I ended up bringing out yellow Pikmin, so I could break some of the walls, the rock walls, and I needed to defeat these spotty bulbarbs because if you don't defeat them, they are a pain. So I end up almost breaking down the main rock wall, I guess, that's in the path, but then I end up trying to get this part, which I thought I needed yellows for, but I end up killing about 15 of them. So then I carry on with just bringing 15 to the other areas of the map to see if I could get more bomb rocks, which I end up collecting and breaking down this wall. So from there, I end up spending the rest of the day just going around and defeating the enemies. I almost just said spotty bulbarbs, but I do end up defeating as many enemies as I can to give myself a path of just collecting parts. This is the second day in this that I did not collect a part, but I did give myself, I believe, enough room to be able to just collect parts from here on out in the distant spring. So we've wrapped up day 12, and on day 13, I bring out yellow Pikmin again because I know that there is this part that's necessary to bring out yellow Pikmin because how high the UV light is. So I get that, and then from there, I end up going and breaking down the wall and building the bridge to the armored cannon beetle because that is a part that I do, again, need to acquire, and it is necessary, so I end up doing that, and after that, I take yellow Pikmin and I go to the Chronos reactor because I know I need them for their height. So I think I accidentally ended up killing another 1 or 2 yellow Pikmin here. but I do end up bringing down the Kronos reactor. So then on day 14, I can just go ahead and have blue Pikmin bring it across and into the ship. And so after bringing down the Kronos reactor for day 13, I really just make sure that I don't have any Pikmin just out on the map. And I end day 13 again without any Pikmin lost to sunset. And with that, on day 14 for the distant spring, I end up using blue Pikmin. I've noticed in this run for the distant spring, you don't need red Pikmin at all. You can get almost everything done with blue Pikmin, but you do need the throwing how high yellow Pikmin go, as you have seen, on day 13, they are required. Doing that, though, I really am not sure if that was just a balancing thing that Nintendo wanted to do with the Pikmin, making it where red Pikmin are not needed because you use them so much in the first few days that maybe it felt more to show light of what the capabilities blue Pikmin and yellow Pikmin have. Day 14 was the most parts that I collected during this run. I did end up getting 5 parts. And the 5 parts that I got on this day, the first was the repair type bolt. The second was the massage machine. And then after that, I did get the Kronos reactor. Thank you, yellow Pikmin, for bringing that down. And then right next to it was the number 2 Ionium jet. And then the last item I got was the gluon drive. And so with the remaining time on day 14, after collecting all those parts, I started to break down some of the walls because I needed to break those down to be able to collect those few parts in the corner. And so with that, I almost end up breaking them down before the day ends. And this is also one of those days where I actually used the whole day. Some of those days throughout the run, I know that I couldn't get any further, so I ended up just ending the day early to go to sunset. But on day 15, I do make my way to those walls so I could break it down, getting those 2 parts right next to each other. And those 2 parts that are right next to each other that you see being carried along are the pilot seat and the automatic gear. And as those Pikmin were carrying those back to the ship, I decided that I would try and clear the path for the interstellar radio. This part, I was a little bit cautious on. I was cautious because I know that Smoky Prog is there, and I did not want to engage Smoky Prog while trying to bring the part back. So I did go around, or I did go around enough where I was not in the radius of Smoky Prog. But since that was the last ship part that I needed, I decided to engage and fight Smoky Prog. I did end up only using 10 blue Pikmin because I did not want to think that I had it where I could just keep throwing Pikmin and end up losing as much as it would give. So I did end up losing 5 Pikmin in the fight, but I did defeat Smoky Prog overall. Or after all, same thing, I beat Smoky Prog. And with day 15 wrapped up, I had sprouted so far 795 Pikmin. I've lost a total of 195 to battle, but I have not lost a Pikmin to sunset. 0 Pikmin have been left behind. And so now, with just 1 part remaining, it is just the final trial. And on the final trial, I know that you are supposed to need blue Pikmin because of the water, red Pikmin because of the fire, and yellow Pikmin for the bomb rocks. But I wanted to see if I could get through all of that with just yellow Pikmin, which I was able to do so, and in trying some different things, I accidentally let a few yellow Pikmin drown. That was not on purpose, but it was easy to get past the fire because all you have to do is whistle and then have the Pikmin go through, and you can command them to continue moving. And so that was a lot easier than I expected. And I did end up getting to Emperor Bullblacks with about half of the day remaining on day 16. And at first, I did take this fight pretty, I'm trying to think of the word, pretty cautiously. I don't know why that word was not coming to mind. But then after, something in me triggered where I just wanted to be aggressive, and I lost a ton of yellow Pikmin here. I believe almost 200 to be exact, but I did end up defeating Emperor Bullblacks by day 16. And as you can see here, I actually don't have enough time to bring the secret safe back to the ship. So I have to do day 17, which allowed me plenty of time to bring the secret safe back to the ship and collecting all 30 parts. I did end up losing a total of 388 Pikmin in this run, but I just want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, take care.